What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dad's Expensive Hobby.
What's up?
Today we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends, the Fantastic Four First Steps, Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards himself. I got him in the mail today, so you know I'm going to do a video on him. Let's dive right in. This package is just like all the others with that white and the blue trim on it. Nice window on the front showing us the figure inside. And wouldn't you guess, nice images from the movie on the side right there, and the exact same image on the back. They are 4 for 4 or 5 for 5, however you want to look at it. But anyways, that's enough about this package. Let's get him out of the package and take a closer look at him. All right, let's take a look at the fourth member of the Fantastic Four. Let's start like always, see how tall he is. To the top of his head, he is right at 6 inches tall, which would make the whole figure just north of 15 centimeters. I don't know if that's right. I don't know any of their real height comparisons, to be quite honest with you, but that is okay. Let's look at his aesthetic. Very, very similar to Johnny Storm. I don't think that they actually share parts, because there's what I've noticed, there's way too many differences like in the details of the suit, unless that's just some retooling, which it could be. I don't know that much about the process, but he's built very, very much like Johnny Storm, which is not a compliment.
Nope.
It's not that he looks horrible or whatever, but he doesn't look superhero. When I look at this, I don't think superhero. I just think he looks like some kind of astronaut or whatever. But let's look at this head sculpt, because this is a pretty darn good Pedro Pascal head sculpt right here. I know they've made a figure or two in the past with their Star Wars line of Pedro Pascal, so they've had a few other shots at getting his likeness down. But this one's pretty good. I like it. The face paint and everything looks pretty good. The kind of the beard could probably have a little bit more paint in the beard. It's a little light. And the gray hair, I don't think there's quite enough gray hair, especially for a Reed Richards on the sides. But it does look pretty good. The sculpt up and everything looks pretty good. And I do wish there was a wash or dry brush or both in the brown hair, the hair that's brown. But it still looks pretty decent. Let's look at his suit. Really nice, individualized, like I said a second ago, with the details of the suits. None of their suits like completely match up, and I like that. But his suit actually has a little bit less paint than Sue's and Johnny's. Theirs has more white, but that's not really, a compliment or a diss either, because the paint wasn't done real well with those. But his 4 looks good. Paint around his belt, it's okay. It's not the worst stuff ever. Through there could be better, but it's not too bad. Let's look at the paint on his gloves. He's still got that that black glossy paint on the palms and inside of the gloves and wrist. I don't know why they've been doing that. It doesn't really look good or whatever. And I wish that joint right there was black so it didn't like stand out like that. But it's not done horribly bad. And again, he's got a nice kind of matte finish. He's not a shiny figure, so that's not too bad. Let's look down at his boots really quick. And so far, the paint on the boots looks pretty good. There's no smudges or weird shit like I had on the other 2 figures, so that's not too bad. But okay, these feet right here, these are definitely the same feet that were on the Johnny Storm figure. Not again, I'm not somebody who completely knocks reuse. I was just pointing that out, that they do have the same feet. Oh, and he's got that wrist bracelet, God, I can't talk, on his right arm, just like how Ben Grimm's did the thing, and the other 2 figures have it on their right arm. Just wanted to point that out. But his aesthetic, I guess, for what they were going for, just a plain Jane Pedro Pascal, not too terrible. Let's look at his accessories. Just like all of them, he only comes with this one head sculpt, but it's actually not that bad. He comes with 4 hands. He's got 2 of these, he's got this kind of halfway gripping kind of hand on him in the package, and this other one is a different type of gripping hand, and they both look all right. And he gets 2 fist hands that, unlike Johnny Storm, actually have paint on the palms like they should.
Thank you.
So he gets a little bit of extra credit for that. I don't know why they didn't paint Johnny's. And, of course, he gets the stretchy arms. Let's look at the paint on the stretchy arms. There are two different hand types that come with these. This one with a very similar grippy hand to the one that he had on his other left hand. And the black paint looks not bad. It's not done too horribly, and just a couple of little smudges through there. I don't really know why that is happening, but it is. And of course, these are that bendy wire stuff, so you can kind of bend these around as you want. They're actually kind of stiff, but that's probably a good thing. I might switch them out or swap them out here in a second, just to kind of show you what they look like if I'm willing to risk not breaking them. But overall, this one looks pretty good. And for the right hand, he just has that open, extended hand. And I've noticed that the hands themselves for these are a lot bigger. If you see that, the hand on the stretchy arms is bigger. Just wanting to point that out. Not like a big deal or anything. But you know, they both bend and all that good stuff. But like I said, they're kind of tight. On this one, the wrist bracelet is just sculpted on there. It's not like another loose wrist bracelet. And right here, it looks like they've built in a bicep swivel, but it's not, so I don't even know why they went through the trouble of doing that. And they're just on a little hinge here. Actually, while we're doing this, let's see if I can swap that out. Actually, that went a lot easier than I thought it would, and that's kind of what he looks like with it on there. No big deal. It just hinges around and stuff, and it looks pretty cool, I guess. Nothing super duper impressive. That's not really, you know, new technology or whatever, but it's pretty useful if you're somebody that wanted to pose him around. Anyways, let's stand him next to the other cast members, so to speak. Here he is next to Sue Storm, you know, aka Invisible Woman, and they look pretty good next to each other. Let's just, if I can even get her to stand up. I can't, so who cares. Here he is next to Johnny Storm, and they're the same height. So there's probably some reuse with just a little bit of retooling for the texture or whatever, because they both kind of got that frumpy, dumpy leg look that I don't really like. But that's them. Here he is with Silver Surfer, and they're about the same height. Actually, she might just be a little bit taller, but that's okay. She looks like crap, in my opinion. And here he is next to his buddy Ben Grimm, the Thing, and I really like that because I like this Thing figure. I think he is pretty darn good. Anyways, that's all the comparisons that I've got set up for him. Let's see how he moves. You know, he's probably going to move just exactly like Johnny Storm, but we'll go through the motions real quick anyway. Head will look down pretty good, and it'll look up pretty good, and that's about it. You can do some rotation, and that's because he's on that hinge right there.
We have a problem.
Good Lord. Why do they do that to me? But anyways, you all know I don't like it. Shoulders up to 90 and a little bit past it. No butterfly, but it will get a full 360 right there, so that's not bad. Bicep swivel. Pinless double jointed elbow. Tons of range. A little bit stiff because he's a brand new figure. Tons of range. I hate the look of that elbow. That just no human human skeleton does that, but whatever. And the wrist is on a hinge. He has a diaphragm brake. Here is neutral. He'll lean forward just a little bit for you, and he'll lean back just a little bit for you. You can move him all around. That's either a ball peg or a double ball peg up in there. But you can get some lean and nuance and stuff and twist for the most part. He has a waist twist, and I hate waist twist because you get that right there, but he does have it. Leg split, pretty darn good. All the men are more flexible than the women in this movie. I'm not really sure if they're trying to send us you know, some kind of subliminal message or not. Front kick, pretty lousy. He's got some flat old man booty, so the leg is not kicking back. Thigh swivel, that thigh swivels. Pinless double jointed knee, lots of range, and the proportions look pretty good. No shin swivel. Ankle is a hinge, so all the way down, all the way up. Very steep ankle rocker. Peg holes in the bottom of the feet, and no toe hinge. All right, my thoughts, or you know, the final verdict, as you would say, for this figure. I mean, he's an average Marvel Legends. The paint doesn't suck. His overall look doesn't suck. He's a frumpy. This line, at least this wave or whatever, they've all got kind of a frumpy dumpy kind of design, especially from like the waist down. I'm not a big fan of the look. They don't look like superheroes. They just look like, you know, blue astronauts. So take that as it is. Overall, he's got He's a C. He's a C. There's nothing special about him. You're not going to be thrilled to have him, and you're not going to fucking be mad that you bought him either. Doesn't come with much for accessories, but really, besides Silver Surfer, none of them did. You know, the bendy arms or whatever, that's a cool concept because he is Mr. Fantastic, and they do work as you saw. So he's a solid C. You know, pick him up if you want to. You won't regret it, but you're not going to, you know, be thanking your lucky stars either. Anyways, that is all I've got for Mr. Fantastic here. If you haven't subscribed, pause the video, scroll down, give us a like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And with all that said, this has been Dad with Dad's Expensive Hobby, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.